All right. Take your time.
I don't know. No, I don't know. What do you
Well,
think? Should
welcome
I
to the
try
Life
to?
of Joey Calvo podcast. I'm Joey Calvo. We are continuing a series with my classmate Jonathan Black, and today we actually have an extra guest, Maya Howard, who is very close with Jonathan, and I just got to know her recently, and as beautiful as she is, we're gonna let them bring up conspiracy theories today. So,
No,
um,
conspiracy facts.
okay, conspiracy facts. Okay, conspiracy facts. Sorry. All right, but before we start all that, one, I do need to give this disclaimer that these are not experts. These are their opinions. Their opinions do not reflect anything of this podcast or of me. My opinions are of my own as well. Also, make sure if you haven't done it yet, get out to vote tomorrow. Big time. As of right now, 80 million people, including myself, have actually voted early and have gotten their votes in. So make sure your vote is in there if you want your voices heard. Um, I'm going to play what actually started having our guest on in the beginning. So bear with me one moment. And here we go.
Yo, what's up, my people of y'all? Listen, let me please hear this whole thing out because you'll see that we can change this world. I'm going to explain something nobody's ever explained before. But first, let me tell you a real true story about the Australia fires so that you understand it and can see why I'm telling you this. Everything that I'm going to reveal here tonight. And what happened is years ago, I think you all will recall when every square inch of Australia was put ablaze on fire with those blue lasers. I don't know if you knew that or not, but yeah, they were intentionally started by the world elite. I'm not going to blame it on a country. I think they have all our money. They have all the gold. And they have their own planes and technology and whatnot. But it's really the bankers and the big corporation owners, stockholders and stuff. And that's the system of beast or system of man that I always taught everybody on Facebook that was the system of the beast talked about in the book of Revelations. This corporation, basically. It's everything incorporated entities like the U.S. Federal Reserve Bank is incorporated and not owned by America. It's a foreign body, but the U.S. government is a corporation. It's not the USA. The USA is ours. But anyway, so back to the story to explain why I'm doing this. A few of us, I think it was like 1,800 of us, or I don't know, maybe 800, I can't remember, that on Facebook that got together in a group to just get together at the same time. The next day, we set a time and date for visualizing, using our visual minds to visualize rain covering every square inch of Australia and feeling as if it's happening now by giving thanks and gratitude for it as if we already received it and it's happening. Feel the rain, smell the rain, see it. So for me, I visualized that on the radar, the weather radar. I see green covering Australia. I went first to go look at a map of Australia that I envisioned green covering it. And then I would bring it the feelings so the two would become one to manifest what we want. The feeling of thanks and gratitude, the heart power and the mind power within the visualization. That's how you create things. And Jesus explains this in a way. All the greats do. And so when we did that collectively together, it was such intense, the power of our creation abilities as children and sons and daughters of God, whom we are, that Jesus told us that we are like him, that we are God's, and we are his children, and we inherit everything that is his. But we have to believe. So if you believe in this, and so it'll work, because we did it. As soon as we finished doing that, I went to and I need to explain this. This is kooky, but it's real. This is what occurred. I witnessed it. I went to my radar map to go look at Australia, to look at the rain that we created. As soon as we were finished, my weather radar map showed absolutely no rain anywhere near Australia at all, not one drop. So I wrote a friend here on Facebook live at that moment and sent the screenshot, who lives in Australia. I sent it to him. And he says, no, man, it is downpouring across the whole country right now. So he sent me a screenshot of his radar, and this is why this is so important to tell you. He sent me a screenshot of his radar showing rain all over his country. So they erased that from all other countries, from us seeing that we succeeded, so that we would believe and then stop it through our belief that it didn't work, that it would now cease. But it didn't work because he showed me his radar live. I saw the time and date on his phone. And then he sent me a video to show me outside his home that it was raining and cloudy. And so we did it. It worked. But it showed me that our government and the corporations knew that they got their eye on everything. They knew we were doing this. And so they thought they could destroy our work and make us feel like failures by showing us on our radars that we failed, when in fact we didn't fail at all. That rain started sometime like right when we did it. It worked. We put out the fires. As sons and daughters of God, we conquered them. We did a greater work than Jesus. Like he said, he says, we will do greater works and miracles than what he has done. But we have to believe. And we did that, and it worked. And so here's what I've been trying to do. I made a post, but everybody ignored it, but Brian Schuessler. Thank you, brother Brian. He at least put a heart on it. I put a post out talking about this, trying to get people together to start the same thing, and that we should be these prayer, visual, spiritual warriors, the Jedi Knights, and we can conquer anything. And what you don't know is the reason about predictive programming is that because they're doing prophecy, or that they know that what's going to happen or whatever. What's really going on is they know we, as sons and daughters of God, that we are creator beings. Angels aren't. We are. We're the divine children, divine light. And everything starts with a word to create, which starts with thought. Thought, word, the word of God created this and created that. And once we wake up to this reality and we know who we are, our divine right, and we come together in power as one God, because God is all things. What you do to the least of his children, you did it to him. So what you did to the least of his children, you did it to yourself. That's why you're not supposed to judge. You're not supposed to harm anything. It's Buddhism 101. Same thing. That's what Jesus taught. And so all we need to do is get as many people as we can. The more we get together, the more powerful we become. And we can't trust what our eyes are being shown by TV or weather radar, we found out, because they are that powerful. And they even know every word I'm saying right now. When their AI bot hears, algorithm hears certain words I'm saying, they're dialed right in on it. They're recording it. They're going to review that later if there's something that I'm saying that is important to them to stop and fight against. That's how it works. Everything is this quantum computer, basically. Everything is watched. Your emails, your phone calls. It's always been this way. They're just getting better at it and quicker at it. The faster they make these computers, and the more advanced they make the AI, the better. But we could defeat it all if we just come together as a family in unity. They're trying to divide us. Look at everything they do is divide and conquer. They set us up against each other. The churches do that through religion. They're the same entity because they do that. They're about division rather than unity. I could show you, and I've tried to do it for years, that all religions are the same. It's just in different languages from different cultures, different times in some cases. But look, guys, we can do this. You know, with the story I told you about Australia is true, and there's many out there in my Facebook people that were a part of it, and I hope you guys hear this and speak up. I'm gonna put in this video at everyone or whatever it is, and I hope that you people see this because nobody saw my written post about doing this, and so here I am trying to do a live. I'm gonna tag everyone in it and hope that we could get together, start a group. We probably got to move the group from Facebook. We could start it on Facebook to gather our friends and family members that can believe in such power, that have faith to move mountains. And we could do this. It's no problem. And that's what they've been doing is in all these movies, they put subliminal programming of what they want us to create. We're the creators. They're using us by us watching their programmings, their programs, their TV programs, their movies, everything, their news. We are the ones creating that, and that's what we need to wake up to. They use our subconscious minds to see these visual pictures, and then it's created through us in mass. I mean, millions of people are watching a certain movie, and they've put this stuff in The Simpsons, in like so many movies. This 9/11 thing, we made it possible for them to achieve that. Whereas if we intentionally come together and visualize, and that a thing is happening, and it is, and it's now, then we can do it. We proved it with Australia Fire. We put it out that day. He showed me that radar. Every square inch of Australia was covered by green radar, which means it was raining everywhere. There wasn't one spot untouched, and that's what we envisioned. And then why did it happen? Right at the hour that we did this. It was amazing. And then, like I said, they tried to trick us using the weather radar to make it look to us that we failed, but we didn't. We were the ones who saved Australia. A few hundred of us. I don't know if it was, I can't remember. For some reason, I have an 8 in my head. I don't know if it was 1,800 of us or 800 of us, but it was pretty good, I think. I could be wrong on the number, but what I can't ever forget is what occurred, the amazingness. And so I hope everybody helps get together and spread this out there, this video that explains how it all works, how we are creating what we see and hate because of their programming it into our subconscious minds through subliminal programming. And by them speaking things, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Bill Gates told us that the year that the pandemic would happen, that it would happen. He told us it would. And we got to not believe in what they're trying to get us to create collectively. We have to get together as a family of all races, of all cultures, in knowing that we are all children of the Most High Father, Mother, Source. Creation itself is God. All that we see that's created and uncreated, that is what is God. God is all things, my brothers and sisters. So let's do this. Let's kick some Jedi ass. I love you guys. I hope that this message gets out because this is how we can do what Jesus said. said that we all will do greater works and miracles than what we've seen him do. And this is it. This is it. This is what he was talking about. It's time we take our power and we do it with love and consideration for all that is God, which is everything, every one of you, everything you see, every tree, the air you breathe, the birds that fly, everything is God. And we are his grand, the divine creation, his children, to become creators with source. I love you guys. I hope you love me too. I'm a lovable dude. But anyway, get this out there, guys. Let's get together. Let's kick some ass because we can. We are the change. What's that saying? Yeah, whatever. Who cares? Anyway, get it out there.
So we are the change we want to see.
What's up,
Be the
people?
change you
Hold
want
on
to
a
see.
minute.
Listen,
There we go. All right, go ahead.
Well, I remember the saying now. It's be the change you want to see.
Yeah.
You know, and but yeah. So all we need to conquer all these granary fires and or these storms that they're creating, they're all created. I remember back around 9/11 time. You know, that's like 20 some years ago now, I guess. I remember you could buy. China would sell you a sunny day for a wedding for $10,000, or if you owned, let's say, Bristol Myers Squibb, and you were having your yearly you know, celebration picnic or whatever outing, you could pay China $10,000 and they would make it so that it would be beautiful sunny weather. Because
That's ridiculous.
and it's true, because many countries have the technology. It's nothing new, actually. It's very old. And you can see it's true because they have patents for doing this. And you can't patent something. To have a patent go through, you have to prove that it works. It can't be just an idea patented. It has to be a proven technology or cure. So when you go, if you want to find out what's real, go to the patent office. You'll find cures for cancer. And how do you know that they're cures for cancer? Because they're listed there and patented. They can't be unless it's true.
Right.
See, and so it's so simple to find the truth, but a lot of people are too lazy. They go to fact checkers, and the fact checkers are actually paid for by people like George Soros is the biggest payer of these people. And so they're funded by these rich elite that control the world, which they are not the same as us. They are, in all my lifetime research, I find that they are the hybrid children. They're hybrid humans and fallen angels called the Nephilim. And that's what our war is against. They stay hidden. They keep secretive. That's why they have all these secretive societies. Why they even call it secretive. Why? Because if we knew who they were, we could destroy them overnight with just what we just listened to that I spoke. Because they know we are creator gods. They don't have that power. Only we do. The angels don't even have that power because they were created for us, not us for them. See? And so that's why they were called the Watchers. They were created before us, it says. They could watch over creation. That's why Satan was given this world to rule, because he was good at that time. He was the favored, most beautiful angel of God, and the most intelligent. He knows the genetics of our bodies. He always did. That's why they could do this hybridization.
Right.
And that's why we have alien abductions. They want our sperm and our eggs to take into labs. You could go look at and find pictures of Hitler with an alien. Those are angels. We call them aliens today.
Where's your camera at, Jonathan?
It won't work. It won't work.
It's not working.
It's not working. Okay.
It worked the first time, then I lost connection. I had to log back in, and I can't get it back on now.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Okay.
I turned off my camera, and now it shows that. And then It needs to send me a notification for me to accept it, and it hasn't
Okay.
done that yet.
Yeah.
It's
Gotcha.
not asked. It hasn't asked me for permission to use my camera yet, like it did the first time. And even the first time, it took like 10 minutes before
Yeah.
Joey couldn't even
It
hear
took a little
me.
bit.
He couldn't hear me. He couldn't see me. I heard and saw him, but he was working around the room trying to get ready, and I was
Yeah.
going, Joey, and he couldn't hear me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at least I have audio now, so I'm not going to.
Yeah.
complain.
I
Okay.
mean,
So do we want to talk about the election?
we can talk about anything you want.
Well, I'd like to hear what she has to say, and so
Yes.
go ahead, speak.
Yes, Maya. It's your turn.
Okay.
Well,
So the first thing.
before you get started, I do want to say when Maya has a post on Facebook that says, I am a conspiracy theorist, so everything is told you so.
Oh, everything is just our opinion.
She's about to tell you so now. So go ahead, Maya. What is yours?
Speaking our opinions. What's your opinion, Maya? Go with it.
Go for it.
Okay, so first of all, what I just saw before we started this was there's a guy, let's see, he's in the preppers group. So we're in a preppers group. I think Jonathan's in it too. So like when the apocalypse comes, which I always call it that, but it's probably not going to come. Bad things are supposed to happen. Like when Trump wins, bad things are supposed to happen.
Right.
So there's a group that we're in. It's called the Preppers and Emergency something. It's on Facebook.
Right.
And somebody just posted and said, I work in Washington, D.C., and right now the White House and all the shops and restaurants around are all boarded up. The storefronts are closing in preparation for tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's a very strange feeling walking down the street. Why are they boarding shit up?
Because
can I add into that real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Well, I've been watching. There's been a lot of military operations happening over Washington D.C. and people are questioning that. And they're worried. Helicopters. And what it is what I found from inside intel is that they are planning a civil unrest, and because we have documentation, which I posted yesterday or the day before, we have proof that what they did at the first election with Trump against Joe Biden was they didn't know if their cheating would be able to beat Trump. So they had a secondary plan that they planned the insurrection, and that's so provable. The evidence is so clear for anybody who goes beyond not looking at fact checkers, but go check the facts yourself as an investigator. You have to become your own investigator to find the real truth. Instead of being
you got to
lemming,
dig real deep.
You have to dig deep, and then you will find it, and it's factual documents or it's emails that they wrote. And all of this stuff, it's factual stuff that is even able to be used in court of law to prove guilty of. They created that because we have. They say that Trump instigated that when in fact I was a Trump follower and I heard him live tell us don't go to the Capitol building. He says. I can't remember what he said, but he told us do not go there. He says steer clear of going there.
I think I screenshotted some of those messages from him saying, "What are you guys doing? Don't do this. Stop. This is about peace."
Yeah, the proof is all over the place. So you just got to look yourself, and you'll find that this is a fact. It's proven fact, and so they set it up, and then you can watch the videos from the security cameras and different people's filming of it. They actually let the people, they opened the doors wide open and said, come on in. And then they called that as insurrection. And the people didn't knock over they had the ropes and stuff that you walk through. They had that all set up to welcome them in, and they didn't knock it over or climb over or destroy anything. They were welcomed in, and they were shown around the White House by police. We have that all on video.
It was a total setup. I mean, the CIA, there is evidence that the CIA set that whole thing up to make Trump look bad.
Big time. And actually Pelosi said not long ago, she admitted that Trump asked for what do they call that? The guard. He asked for 10,000 or something like that guard troops to make sure that nothing went wrong that day. And Pelosi turned it down.
Right. We lost him.
And she denied Trump that.
Yeah.
And she admits it happened because of her doing that. She said it with her own lips recently.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so what I found, they set that all up. This was the reason why, because you can even, if you go look at my post about it, you see the documents that they were talking about this before the election in 2016 to do this, and that they were going to set it all up, and then because they're going to use that if they couldn't cheat the vote like they did cheat the vote, they won that way. So they didn't have to use plan B, which was this, that they would come, if Trump won, come inauguration day, they would deny the vote. They would not certify the vote, it's called, the election, and that it would fall by fault onto Joe becoming president. They didn't need to use it, but they still have that now at their fingertips. So they are planning they're planning that if possibly Trump does win, and that's why they're running these practice runs with the helicopters and everything for when, because they even said that they want to create a civil war. They want
I still don't understand what the purpose of the helicopters is.
Listen, I'm trying to get there.
Okay.
And so what it is they expect that they might not be able to win by cheating this time, because now Americans are so fed up, they're really going out to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
So many Democrats have changed over to Republican for this time. That didn't happen the last time. We have something like, I think 20-some% or 30-some% of black men now that don't want to vote for Democrat. They want to vote for Trump. The black women want to vote Democrat because they're glued to that, because that's been the black way to vote, since going way back in time, since what they did. You got to understand something. The Democrats were the KKK. They were the ones who were racists. See, they're the cat calling the kettle black. It was Republicans who fought for their civil rights and won. And so what happened is now black people were able to vote, and now they could never win an election because now there was extra voters, and they were blacks, and the blacks knew at that time that they were the KKK and they would never vote for them. So they came up with a new plan to get them to vote for them, and that was by giving them entitlements and food stamps and saying you don't have to work, and the more babies you have unwed, the more money we will give you for food and housing. And so they were enticed to vote to get freebies and become lazy. So it would get any blacks to vote for them. So they could never win an election because all blacks would vote Republican.
Jonathan, I just got to stop you for a second. Just to let you know, you were cutting in and out like now.
Yeah, probably because of the storms here.
Oh, yeah.
It's raining a lot in Oklahoma and tornadoes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
Yeah, I had to while we were on, I had to switch off my Wi-Fi because it was cutting out more. So now I'm on data only.
Yeah.
Which the tower is right behind me, so it's the best thing I got right now in this storm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so basically, they used a psychological trick to entice them. They hate black people. They hate them. I remember there was a hot mic on Hillary Clinton when she was running against Trump, and she was supposed to at a rally of hers for elections, and she said she said something bad about black people, and she didn't know the microphone was on, and the whole crowd heard it.
Wow.
And then you have Joe Biden. If you go do research on him since the beginning of his political career, he was kicked out of college or something because of plagiarism. And then he came out publicly and stated, he goes, well, that's how I am, and I always will be. He's kind of just said, I'm not perfect. This is what I do, and I'll do it for the rest of my life. And he was connected to the KKK with his father and I think his uncle. And you can hear him say racist things throughout most of his career because you could get away with it more back then in the 80s. Okay. and he was openly racist. You see, so they're
Can we talk
two-faced,
about
they're
what they're
liars,
doing
they're
with
actors.
HARP, with the weather to try and throw the elections off? I think what they're trying to
Yeah.
do is flood a bunch of towns and possibly tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, so that people can't make it to the polls to vote who haven't voted. That's my theory on that.
Right.
I'm sorry, just to let you know, my Wi-Fi just went. So, and I have that T-Mobile 5G, which sucks with live stream. Jonathan's aware about it. So you might have to start all over again with what you were saying.
Oh, I said, let's talk about what's going on with HARP. And my theory with what they're doing right now is they're starting storms everywhere. I mean, HARP is very active right now, today, tomorrow, and the next day. I mean, huge. I don't remember the website that you have to go to, but you can go and see when they're going to be super active. And so this morning I was walking my dog, and I have never seen so many chemtrails in my life, ever. I mean, I've seen maybe 5 or 10 at once going. There was like 40 or 50 of them this morning in the sky. So HARP is extremely active today, tomorrow, and the next day. And then the question is why? Why are they doing this? Well, they're doing it because my theory is, first of all, they're
They can
poisoning
create
us. Number one.
earthquakes. Actually, that Japan tsunami to Fukushima. Well, there's that. There's aluminum and barium in there always, and they found fecal matter in air tests all over the world because it's being sprayed. They find different chemicals, and it seemed obvious to me from what I witnessed with COVID that it was sprayed that way too. Because I met Jana, and she was sick and dying, and I was healing her, and she was in Nebraska in the middle of farm fields in a small town that was only like 600 and some people population, and there was nobody traveling. They don't travel to Japan or China or anywhere. But all of a sudden, right in one spot, like 5 people got COVID, and in one exact spot in a neighborhood there. And so, none of those people went out of that little town. They had there's no need to, and the nearest big town is like an hour and a half to almost 2 hours away. And so pretty much always the people that are there every day and every month is just them. So how did it get there? That was very odd.
Well, if you go to a website
March.
called there's a website called geoengineeringwatch.org. Geoengineeringwatch.org. If you go there, I mean, they have, like Jonathan was saying, if you want to know the truth, you gotta look for it. So they have the truth on chemtrails, and they know for a fact what is being sprayed in our airs, in our air, out of the airplanes. It's horrific. I mean, but wait, let's think about it. The people who are doing this can't be human, because what human would spray toxic shit in the air over the world on their own children and their own grandchildren? And that's how you know they're not human. They've got to be alien or hybrids or something, because it doesn't make sense that anybody would agree to do this to their own children and grandchildren and future grandchildren. You know what I mean?
And I think something important I'd like for everybody to know on aliens is they're the same thing as angels. It's just we have a new terminology for them, but basically they're not from other planets. They are underground. They've always been here, hiding underground, and because they don't want you to know, because they have a plan to deceive us. And how can they do that if we knew of their existence? That's why all the alien and UFO stuff was always hidden, denied. It was hidden from us and denied by government. Why? Because government works with them. And
Joey,
how
do you feel about contrails?
Wait.
Let him finish. I'm just listening.
So I didn't, because I wanted to get to my.
He froze.
We lost him again.
They are interdimensional beings. It's all based on they are interdimensional beings. They have the capability to change their vibrational frequency of their body to come into this heaven, or what science calls today dimension. The science says the same amount of dimensions are available and exist that the Bible says there is heavens. And so they are from another dimension or heaven, okay, that are on top of each other. Everything in science tells you this. All you got to do is study real modern science. They know that these heavens are all layered. They're operating right here in our space around us, but we don't see them because of our vibration or frequency range. And it's like invisible light or inaudible sound. It's there, but you don't hear it or see it. It's the same thing. They can change their vibration to materialize here, but they're, even when they don't do that, they're still all around us. We're around each other, but we can't interact because we're not vibrating at the same ranges of light or sound, both. And so that's what it is. It's all everything.
But how do they get
light
the
and
humans
sound.
to put that crap on the planes, though? I mean, I don't understand. They got to be like, they have to be hybrid humans or something.
Well, their children are hybrids, which people call the reptilian hybrids.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people who have come out of the government that were sexually abused and used for rituals and stuff like that. And they came out and told us this stuff. That this one woman is the biggest name. I can't remember her name, but she came out and she told her story about her handlers, their names, and people called her crazy. And then I think it was when Bill Clinton was president, the documents for that program came out, because after 50 years, they naturally come out as to disclose to us. And that happened. And they didn't put a lid on it and reclassify it over again. Bill Clinton didn't. And so while he was president, those documents got into our hands. Everybody got a hold of them. Now they couldn't hide. They reclassified it top secret again to give it another 50 years of secrecy, but it was too late. And her name was in there with those handlers, exactly everything she was telling us, which proved she was not crazy.
Yeah.
She even showed us pictures of her mutilated vagina. That's how much guts this woman has.
Wow.
Because they're sick. They mutilate and carve the vaginas of little girls. And
That's horrific.
It's sickening. And she's
Yeah.
brave enough. She has the guts to show us proof because she wants the truth. She wants us to know what's
Oh,
going
I think
on.
I saw that the other night. Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
I've known her, and everything she said was real and provable through government documents that were released because they were over 50 years old. So what we have is, and there's so much of this out there, and you can find it. There was the son of his father owned a big multi-million-dollar company that did drilling underground to make tunnels and stuff. And so they would build bunkers and drill for governments around the world, not just the USA. They worked for anybody, and for millionaires that went underground bunkers. He came out to tell us about how they were drilling somewhere in the US back in the 80s, and they were drilling under the desert, and they happened to drill into an underground facility and what they saw down there was government employees in lab coats and stuff with reptile aliens of different kinds of aliens. And he came out to tell us this, and he ended up dead shortly after.
Wow. They always end up dead.
Right. And he told how he ended up, he said, we carried pistols because we're in a desert and sometimes you run into rattlesnakes. And he said, to be safe and secure, we had to carry pistols. They ended up in a fight with the aliens when they busted through the ground into their tunnel. And they ended up in a war. And he says they were shooting some kind of laser guns. And he lifts his shirt and he shows you the scars.
Wow.
He ended up in ER after that fight, and that's all documented. And so what it is there's hybrid humans all around us, and you can't tell by looking at them. I can tell you who some of them are. Queen Elizabeth, because I think it was that woman too that disclosed her vagina mutilated, I think it was her or one of those that are real, that you can see are real in this. They were passed around by the elite rich, like government officials, kings and queens, for sexual abuse and rituals, satanic rituals, blood rituals. And that's where all our children disappear from, the missing children on the milk cartons. That's where they're all going. And so we need to put a stop to this, because that's what their whole thing is about, is child blood. That's their diet. That's their favorite diet, because they don't want toxic blood from us older folk. They want pure, clean blood, and they need adrenaline. And so they have to torture these children before they kill them. They do it sexually so that their adrenaline is so pumped up in their blood that when they eat their flesh, they get this high of adrenaline. They feel like superhumans. And so it's a drug called, anciently, it's known as Satan's fountain of youth. It's like crack cocaine to them, and food. And so she came out and told us how she's witnessed the Queen of England transform in front of her face at rituals. Whenever they smell blood, they can't help but transform. So you got to keep, when they're in public, you got to keep blood away from them, because it makes them salivate. It makes them, they smell it and they salivate, and then they can't help but show their true skin, their true body, and so the illusion of vibration changes. They start vibrating into their true who they are, and they're reptiles. She said she found that the reptiles who are lower on the totem pole, they don't have tails or have short tails, and then the next higher up level has long tails. Then the rulers of them, the high up, the queen, which the queen has, she said, they have wings, and the queen had the long tail and the wings. And when they would do blood rituals, the queen naturally would shift, and you would see who she really is.
Wow.
And it's all based on vibration. And so we can trust the sources, because we see in government documents that everything they said was true. And why would they come out and ridicule their own selves to tell us such ridiculous sounding things? Why would they want to do that unless they seen it was super important to humiliate themselves to do? Especially when you listen to them and you see they're grounded, logical, healthy, intelligent people. They're not. They don't have no crazy business that they're doing. They're coming out of their hearts to expose themselves to ridicule. They know they're going to be ridiculed by most people, but they do it anyway because they see it must be done. Somebody's got to do it, because if they don't, who else is there to do so? You see? And so that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Okay. And again, I apologize for Jonathan getting cut out because of good old T-Mobile 5G home wireless.
Amen.
The main thing, and I've told T-Mobile that their live stream, in reference to when it live streams, sucks. So I don't have many opinions on this, only because I'm just the one that's just letting it come out, because it was something that I went to Jonathan's that you got to bring it out, and I was like, here's the opportunity.
Joe, you cutting out for me? Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you were cutting out too a little bit. Just
that's the problem, Joe. You know what it is. You know what it is, Joey. You don't have the time to put. You know how much hard work, this dedication I have to do my whole life.
Yeah,
I have spent like nearly every minute and breath of my entire life digging for the truth, because I saw there was something wrong and something's not right. And you don't have the time. 99% of the people in this world don't have the time, because you're enslaved to have to work to pay taxes and keep your home and feed your family and keep gas in your car and do maintenance on your vehicles. And it's all done so that you never have the time to question things and investigate it.
Mhm.
And so there's no one can blame you for not knowing any of this.
Well,
Right.
that's why
It's
most
by
of the
design.
world doesn't know this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The reason I had the time is because I'm sick and dying. God's teaching me how to cure diseases easily
Yeah.
in the process. And so I'm on disability and I have time to go, let me see what's going on here. Let me dig.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like I tell people, I'm trained and raised by fire.
Mhm.
I have to be sick and dying and saving my own life when doctors can't, multiple times, by the way.
Yeah. Right.
They tell me you got a year to live. And I go, nuh-uh. And then next thing you know, 2 weeks later, I'm cured by what God showed me.
Right.
Because I have faith and I believe. And I go, no.
Mhm.
I believe, no, I'm not going to die.
Right.
I know there's a cure and I'm going to do it.
Right.
And so then God shows me, he guides me to find it because he says, there's a child of mine that believes in me.
And just to let you guys know, we do have an actual viewer that's watching us live by the name of Dawn Bort. So thank you, Dawn. I thanked her while
Hey,
you guys
Dawn.
were talking.
Hi, Dawn.
So, yeah,
I
she,
waved, but you can't
I-
see.
I told her
She's a friend of mine.
she's a friend of yours. Okay.
Yeah.
I told her, I said, if she had an opinion to share it, please do. And I would bring it up on the screen.
And
Yeah.
someday, when we talk about conspiracy theories again, I'd like to get her on here.
Well, to ask her if she has something that she can bring up that she'd like us to discuss.
Oh,
What?
she can go down all the rabbit holes we can
Oh,
go down.
hold on.
I think what we need to do, though, honestly, is keep the focus. If we're going to do conspiracy theory night, we should keep the focus on one conspiracy theory and just stick with that.
Yeah.
Rather than jumping all around the place, you know.
Yeah.
Well, this is a teaser to give a taste of the different things that are out there, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Well,
It's
like I said,
it's the peak interest.
Yeah.
To get the people's mind.
Yeah. Because, like I said, I figured. Wait a minute. Hold on. This is what Dawn said, Maya. Anunnaki? Anunnaki or something?
Oh no, Anunnaki. Okay.
Anunnaki.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, the Anunnaki are they're all that reptilian and alien stuff and all that. And basically what it is hidden in the Bible and the Christians don't see it, but Jesus told us and told them that their father was the devil who used to be a good angel who fell and he started mixing their DNA with ours. Okay. And so that's who these Nephilim and Anunnaki are. They are Nephilim hybrid children that have no soul. They don't have our power. They have powers that they inherit from the bloodline of their parents who are angels or aliens because they were gifted with certain abilities for creation purposes. Okay. And because they were the watchers over the creation that was created not for them, they were workers for it to watch over it, like gardeners and tenders to the garden. We are the crop. We are the divine children, the scriptures tells us. And that's why they hate us. And they can't be saved. There was no hell according to the Bible until Satan fell with 200 and some angels and they mated with the daughters of men and made hybrid Nephilim children that they were giants. But they've over time, they've perfected that through genetic engineering that they could combine the DNAs and the bloods. And we don't see a difference. We think they're just, beautiful, normal human beings, but they're not. They're half human and half angel.
I wonder if they have something to do with the chemtrails.
And I wonder if they're the type O negatives, which is a rare, weird blood, but I'm not going to say that's a fact, but I see evidence that type O negatives are possibly hybrids, or they somehow got that blood because somebody was a hybrid back through the genealogy of their family bloodlines from either the mother or father. That doesn't make them, I don't think, pure Nephilim, because I know one. I know a woman who was one, and she was in contact with these beings, and she turned on them because she doesn't like any of that business. She wants to stop the pedophilia, the child trafficking, and the blood drinking. And she tells me truthfully, she says, I lust for blood. She says, but I
Okay.
abstain. She says, I abstain. And she
I mean,
believes in
aren't
God.
all of the Hollywood elites using that chemical that they get out of the children's blood for
Yeah,
to make them look young?
adrenochrome. It's called adrenochrome. Well, yeah. Well, oh, you're talking about that. Yeah, they take
Adrenochrome. Yeah, that's it.
What's her name from the actress from that TV series?
Aniston? Jennifer
Yes,
Aniston?
Jennifer Aniston. She
Mhm.
even said it openly. Yeah, this cream works
She
good.
did.
And then she says, "Well, what's it made of?" Well, it's pieces of children's penises from when they get circumcised. So they do circumcision to get that. That was always a tool of Satan's, who is the
Wow.
God of the Old Testament. Because Jesus said that their father, the Old Testament God, is their father, who is the devil. And he said he labeled him as the liar and the murderer from the very beginning of this whole game, because that happened at the Garden of Eden. He was that God in the garden.
And Sandra Bullock,
And
she
who
says
said
too.
who
Wow.
said that you have to circumcise your children at 8 days old. And so because his children wanted those foreskins to use for part of the fountain of youth recipe, which is
But
their blood.
there were a lot of us mothers who refused to circumcise our children, just so you
Right.
know.
I wish I knew about this before my son was born, but I didn't figure that part out yet.
Mhm.
And it causes trauma, such deep trauma to the infant that
Yeah.
the men don't grow up to be men that they should have been, because it's a deep rooted trauma that needs to be healed
Yeah,
psychologically
anything like
to the
that is
subconscious
trauma.
mind.
And I remember back in the day when they tried to get me to do it to my son and I refused, that they don't even, put the baby to sleep or numb them up or anything. This is a very
Right.
painful process.
It's sick.
Yeah, it's sick. Yeah, it's sick. There's
It's a
no other
blood.
way to describe
It is literally, when you look at it, it's an ancient blood ritual.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Terrible.
Okay.
Terrible. Oh. So anyway, we were
I had it
we
to
were
me, and I'll
talking
show
about
you.
chemtrails.
You need proof.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Can we go back to chemtrails?
Yes. Let's go
Okay.
back.
So I don't know if Dawn is still in here or not, but
Yeah, she's still on.
we were talking about why would people who live on this earth, who have children on this earth, who have grandchildren on this earth, who possibly are going to have more grandchildren on this earth, why would they want their children and grandchildren to be subjected to the chemtrails and all the chemicals that are coming from the chemtrails, unless they're not human, unless they're alien or hybrid or whatever? And then in that case, how do they get the people on the airplanes or at the airport or wherever they put this crap on the planes? How do they get them to agree to it? Because I'm assuming that this is based on the sky this morning, this is happening on commercial airlines. This is happening on private airlines. This is happening. It's almost like it's just a part of every freaking airplane now, right?
I have photo evidence of that, actually. Yeah, they put it. They do it multiple ways. They have injectors that this is what's interesting. It's done in the poop department of the plane. So there's a certain crew that only deals with getting rid of the waste of the urine and feces on the plane, and it has its own compartment. They do this work there. Those are the guys at the airports that are refilling the injectors that put it into the fuel. And that's another thing. They can actually just mix it into the fuel, and then it comes out of the jet engines. And that's what if you want proof. This actually started in 1987, and we have proof in magazine photos, in like Time magazine, and in movies, famous movies. There was never trails that would spread out and spray a long line. Contrails, always, when we were little children, I remember, because I was fascinated by them, they were always short, because all it is vapor mist from the fuel. It's condensation that of water that's in the jet fuel, and then it hits the air, where if they're high enough, it freezes, and you see that contrail, it's called. Not a chemtrail, a contrail, but it dissipates quick. It's always a short white line that always stays behind the jet. Then in 1987, that changed. You'd start seeing in movies and in photographs, you would see these long lines all of a sudden, starting in 1987. It wasn't done as much and as heavy, but that's when it started to show up in film. And then they spread out. And that's why, if you remember, when we were little kids, every day you would go outside and the blue of the sky, you've never seen that blue since then, because this stuff spreads out, this nano film, and makes the sky an opaque white, like an overcast, or
Isn't
makes
that
it
graphene?
like a light blue.
Is that graphene?
There's graphene. I hope that stuff isn't in there, because they can use that with radio frequencies from your cell phone and cell phone towers to control you.
It is graphene.
It's in
I'm
your
looking at the
blood.
website right now. They are spraying graphene from the sky.
Well, that's not good, and it's got to stop. Tennessee recently, and I tried to make it big news on Facebook. I posted it. It was in the news.
They banned it.
They banned chemtrail spraying in Tennessee, which is proof that they know that it's real.
Oh, hell yeah, I'm moving to Tennessee.
How would they ban? How would they? No, but it didn't stop. I heard from people in Tennessee. They banned it, but it's still. But they're giving the middle finger and saying "screw you," and so
screwed up. That's messed up.
Yeah.
Authority bans something if it was a conspiracy theory, and then why is it that you can go to their website and they tell you about it, but then they deny it on the news? But yet, just go look for yourself, and you'll see it's right there in plain sight. It's not that hidden; it's just denied. That's all.
So they're also doing it. I mean, they're doing it. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. I think they're doing it because they're poisoning us. Number one, because people who are poisoned are sick people, and people who are sick people are compliant because they don't have the energy to fight against the system. Number one, but also two, they're doing it because they know the power. And I'm a sun worshiper. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but I'm really tan because I'm always in the sun when I can on my lunch break. Because we've been lied to. The sun is really freaking powerful. It is like drinking medicine, the best medicine you can drink. It is very, very good for you.
But it has
to go in your eyes.
Yep.
It has to go in your eyes. You cannot be wearing glasses. You cannot be wearing sunglasses or sunblock, anything.
Let me say something real quick on that topic while you're on that specific topic of this that I want to add that people don't realize. Your nervous system is fiber. It's the same thing as fiber optics. It transfers instantly through your body, through your eyes. And that's why they did sun gazing at the Son of God, the sun that's from God. Okay. Now, and you get more of that light energy. Remember, everything is made of light. Science tells you this. This is not, theory. Everything is made of light.
When your temple is clean, and I know I've had my temple clean many times, you're fasting for at least like a week. You haven't eaten. If you go down to the beach and you watch the sunrise over the water and it's really bright red, that is medicine. But also, if your temple is clean, it looks like an angel. The sun looks like an angel with the glow behind it. It is amazing. But I noticed, and I also learned this too from Dr. Courtney Hunt, that if your temple is clean, you can see that the sun in the sky is
Angel
the sun,
light.
is the sun, the son
Right.
of God. The sun
The
is
Son
the
of
sun
God.
is the sun. And it looks like an angel. It's so cool, but you really can't see it if you're full of carbohydrates and sugar and you're eating constantly, because food really blocks all that from you. You can't see the truth. Also, too, the sun, when you get it into your eyes, it does something with your immune system. I'm not a doctor or anything, but it does something with your immune system, the same effect that eating healthy would or whatever. I mean, people can live off of the sun. I mean, I don't know. Weren't you talking about that the other day? The guy up in India who lived in the mountains and he didn't eat any food for 40 days or something? Well, he did get sunshine like the plants do.
Mhm.
But they're
I
using
found
the
you
sun
don't.
now. They're using the sun to heal diseases.
Well, here, let me throw this in real quick. This is something I wish people could recognize. It's in the Bible. It says the way to get to God is to. It says it this way. It says the way to get to God in your life is to fast. Fasting does it. It's the greatest tool you'll ever find on planet Earth.
It's a state of enlightenment.
Right, because
it's a metabolic switch that happens when you
right.
don't eat for at least 3 or
Well,
4 days.
let me finish that sentence though, and then I'm done. It says to fast your way unto the Lord. So it's telling you to get to God. Fasting does that.
Mhm. And it does it very quickly.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
then you
also
start having
too,
miracles in
another
your
point
life
that I was trying to make about the chemtrails,
and
though,
healing.
they're saying they're using the elite or the bad guys, whatever you want to call them. They're using the global warming as a way to rob us of our money. I mean, they're taking probably billions of dollars of tax money for global warming. They're probably just putting it back in their own pockets like they do with wars.
That's technically called by them the black budget. It's the lost money that we don't that disappears.
It's just a way for them to make themselves richer. It's just a way for them to make themselves richer. There's really no such thing as global warming. That's been proven by scientists who actually study global warming. But another reason they're spraying the chemtrails, I learned, is because they know the power of the sun. The Vatican knows the power of the sun and that the sun heals. And that's why they're telling us, oh, don't go in the sun, don't go in the sun, don't go in the sun, because they know you're going to have a lot of health issues.
And why they tell and why the medical system tells you to wear sunblock and people want to wear sunglasses because it's blocking and filtering out that powerful magical light.
Guess what else blocks
from your skin.
all of the light of the sun? Chemtrails.
Chemtrails, right? It's a smoke screen to filter out the magical healing light,
so that you're not getting all of the layers. You're not getting all of the colors of the light into your eyes, and then you won't possibly get sick.
It works through your skin too.
Yeah.
Actually, you could go look this up to prove it. Medically, it is used red LED lamps to get to boost your testosterone. You have to stand in front of this big light lamp each morning for like 15 minutes or something. I can't remember. You can look it up though. It's out there and it's legit. And it does more than that though. But red light actually is great for balancing out hormones in both men and women. And so, but you have to get that effect. They shine it on their chest. So you have to go bare chested in front of this light. So that tells you right there scientifically and medically that, that, you know.
Yeah, we lost him again.
It's more powerful though if you get that red light from the morning sunrise.
Right, exactly. It's natural.
It's natural. Now you can get it from artificial red light, yes, but it's not as powerful as if you get up and watch the sun come over the horizon. Right. It's just not. You cannot outdo God. You just can't.
Well, and with understanding energy, also if you go barefoot and stand on the ground when you sun gaze, you'll suck in more light through your entire body, your skin and your eyes, because the light will rush through you to get to ground quicker.
Yeah.
And so shamans in the ancient times, they used to literally stand on the ground to sun gaze and pray, and they would pee on their feet so that they were more grounded to the earth. And this is why, if you were ever on dating websites, women are more the spiritually grounded human form, and they're more connected. They usually more tend to be the psychics and things like that, because and if you go and you look at what they love in life, it's going to be beaches and water, because when you go to the beach and you're in the water, because of that electrical connection that the water makes deep into the earth, you're bringing in more of those magical energies from the starlights or the sun. Same thing. They're all lights. They're all sons of God.
It's very healing. It's very healing.
It's very healing. And so that's why they're women. Almost every woman will say that they love the beach and this and that, because they're drawn naturally to it for that reason. It's instinctual. It's instinctual.
Okay.
And so, but there's so much, if you research on that, you know, we're planting seeds here, but there's so much more you can learn on these things. We're trying to give the, you know, the good nuggets to save you from, you know, needing thousands of hours just to research one little thing, because it's hard work.
Yeah.
It's not easy, and you don't get paid for it.
Right.
You know. And
yeah, but
so
it's fun and it's exciting and it's interesting going down all these rabbit holes.
and if you utilize the true information you find, it betters your life for free.
Yeah, so like not to jump too far off the chemtrails, but it's a toxic chemical that is shoot, they're probably doing that too from the airplanes, but fluoride, you know. So knowledge is power. So like I don't use fluoride toothpaste. And I don't drink my tap water anymore because it has fluoride in it,
right.
You know.
And with fluoride, you have to understand that was if it was Bayer Corporation here in the U.S., it was first made actually for Hitler to use in concentration camps to make, get this, to make the prisoners less combative and more lethargic, so that they were easy to control in the prison camps. So they put it in their water that they drank. Right. And then also, go look this up because it's a fact. It's the main ingredient in rat poison.
It is. And it's also, and fluoride is also commonly found in antidepressants. I don't know which ones, like Prozac or something like that. It's in a lot of antidepressants.
Let me say this one last important bit, if I remember it now, that I almost said. Actual studies were done on fluoride with teeth, and they found actually fluoride causes cavities. So they lie to us. They tell us
it causes massive tooth decay.
Yep. It's a poison. Of course.
And it also causes the children to have the yellow teeth or the white spots on their teeth, which you see a lot of today.
Or when children are born, they have the yellow butt, monkey butt. What do they call that? I forget what it's called. And
never heard of that. What do you mean?
And you get rid of it. Some kids are born, and in fact, my youngest daughter was born with that, and all I did was bring her out into the sunlight every day and expose, just in a diaper, so she get a lot of exposure. Yeah.
Oh, they have a yellow skin. Oh man, I forget what that's called. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and so, but sunlight fixes that real quick.
Jaundice. Dawn said it's jaundice.
Oh yeah, jaundice. That's right.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Oh, you said that? I didn't hear it.
I've been mumbling.
Oh, well, you could have cut out. It's happening to all of us.
Yeah.
There's many illnesses that are caused from lack of sunshine. And, you know, like when I walk my dog every day, I mean, I walk my dog for at least 2 hours a day. Lately, it's been about 4 hours a day. And, you know, I know all these old people live in these houses, but you'll never see them outside at all. Never. And now look at them. They're sick. They have walkers. They have wheelchairs. They're chronically at the doctor. They're always at the doctor. And I just want to shake them and say,
get naked.
For crying out loud, go outside and get some freaking sun on your skin and in your eyes. And they're all pale and they just look so sickly. But see, they don't know because they're brainwashed by the TV, because they believe what they see on the TV. They have no idea that the TV is all programming and that it's all lies.
And that's why they call it TV programs.
Programming, right? It's all lies.
They have no idea. They have to tell you the truth in a nonchalant way, because there is a law of the universe that we have to agree to things. They can't.
Well, that's why they put it on The Simpsons first.
So they put those.
It's on The Simpsons.
What they raise us to believe, right? And like I said in that video that you played the audio of, they know that if we see these things, the subconscious doesn't know anything. Everything the subconscious sees, even a cartoon, it registers as a real occurrence in life. Okay, even a cartoon. So if there's a murder in a cartoon, the subconscious doesn't see that as false reality at all. It just registers it in a file cabinet in your mind to retrieve as a memory of an encounter that really happened.
Yeah.
And so they know this. And that's why they put things, the movies are like they are and shows are like they are, so that it programs your subconscious mind. And another thing to dive into on that same topic is, if you look into etymology, you'll find out the real meaning of words. You'll find the English language from the Phoenicians, the phony Phoenician phonics. It was designed, the English language. That's why it's the most taught and talked language in the world, because they pushed that. Because guess what it does? It's a magic spell of words. It's magic of spelling to sentence you to prison, okay? By programming your subconscious mind to confuse it too. Because when you say good morning, you're saying good death to you.
Yeah.
And the subconscious sees it that way, even though you don't. So now your subconscious is like saying, okay, so this is a day of death. Let me create that sickness state. See, because it's this deep root conscious beliefs that dictate our reality. So you're creating that reality of sickness. So a lot of people who know this, they say grand rising to you instead of good morning to you. See? And there's so many, when you dive into that rabbit hole, you'll find out that you'll start to see the pattern that it was intentionally done.
It was all intentionally done. And all the words, I mean, words have so much power and we don't even realize it, but the
Right, the word
programming
of
is
God creates.
the programming is beyond unbelievable, that people actually believe what they see on the TV and on the news. I mean, the best thing people can do is just throw their TV out and just don't watch TV. But the second best thing they could do is, if they're going to watch TV, do the exact opposite of what the TV says. Just do the exact opposite of what the TV says, and then you'll be fine. So what they say is avoid the sun. They say, don't go in the sun, you're going to get cancer. Then you should go in the sun. Oh, they say, oh, you need to get this shot, get that shot, get this shot. Okay, then you shouldn't get any of the damn shots.
Right. And what she says is true. And that's why it really, the more you learn, the more you find everything we believe is inside out and upside down, because that's their goal. And they that's why it's mandatory that you send your children to school.
Dawn said nefarious. What is nefarious behavior?
They'll take your children
nefarious describes a person's actions as nefarious if they are evil or wicked. Yeah, that's true. It's
nefarious,
evil and wicked.
Just like bad behavior, evil and wicked.
Yeah.
Oh, nefarious. There's so many words. I think you sent me today a short list of some of them, and it was just some of them I didn't know, and I'm just like, oh, there's another one.
Yeah, there's so many.
It's endless. It's endless. You have to, when a word sounds similar to another word, that's what you learn in etymology. They are connected, and they have the same meaning, but you don't realize it. You think it's a different word, but the subconscious don't see it that way. So it's getting programmed. See?
Yeah.
And
license is lie, sense, or nonsense. Dad is dead. Extraterrestrial is extra land. Planet. Let's see.
Extra
Babylon
land. Go back
is
to that
baby
one.
loan.
Extra land, that goes back to the flat earth thing. Outside the ice walls that holds the ocean in, right? There's land beyond it that we don't get to because it's hard. They don't let you go to the ice land. It's forbidden zone. Only government people can go there. But there's other people that we've never heard of that live on other islands and lands outside that ice wall, where they don't have this problem because it's not controlled by us. They don't have war. It's not controlled by our criminal government and government leaders and stuff. And so and they don't have blood wars, which are rituals. Wars start and end on satanic ritualistic dates, because that's what it is. It's modern day human sacrifice, but you don't know it.
But do you think that people actually know that the money that we pay towards wars actually is funneled, like say to like Ukraine, and it's funneled back into the politicians' pockets?
Right.
Do people know that?
Right. That's why
It's a money laundering system.
What's the Ukraine president's wife's name? What's their name? She has on order this most expensive car that's custom hand built, and you have to wait like a year for it to be built. And I forget the price of it is like millions or some crap. That's all our tax dollars. They live in multiple mansions that are worth millions. That's all our tax dollars. And then because Biden gives that money to them, our tax dollars, they give kickbacks to Biden and family.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why this is all being done. It's they transfer our money to another country under the guise of we're helping them fight a war, when in reality it's because they'll take a lot of that money for themselves.
Well, I mean, no, that's been proven. No, wars are created for one reason and one reason only, and that is it's a money laundering system. They want to get our money. How are they going to get it legally? They're going to create a fake ass war, and then they're going to funnel the money back into their pockets.
Right. All these
That's
world
what they do.
leaders, what you'll find out is all world leaders are connected by bloodline. Even every president of the United States, it's a proven fact that they admit it even, that they are all related bloodline wise. Obama's related to Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and all of them. There was only one president that was not connected to their bloodline. All leaders of the world, all presidents of every country are all connected through a family bloodline.
Jonathan said that Fauci is related to Mother Teresa, that Mother Teresa was a big child sex trafficker. I did not know that.
Vatican.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and if you put their photos next to each other, you see that they're like twins.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Because she's a whore. And
Wow.
and they do sexual rituals with God knows who, with everybody that's in circles. They're very much they're orgy-like people is what they are.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's really crazy. And that's why she's head of like the children's, funds and stuff and the orphanages. She's the queen of, and that's child trafficking is what
it's
it is.
Child trafficking. Anything that has anything to do with the Roman Catholic Church or the Catholic Church is just a sick system to me.
Right. They twist our religion and our beliefs in Christianity so that we don't see these secrets that Jesus actually teaches. And they teach something different.
God. Oh my God. I just pulled up an article from the NPR. You know NPR, right?
Mm-hmm. The news
That's
source.
huge. And
Right.
it says, and this is from 2018, it says the late Mother Teresa's order investigated for child trafficking.
Yep.
And then it says Roman Catholic order founded by Mother Teresa after arrests of a nun and a worker accused of baby trafficking.
Yep. It's all factual. All you got to do is look. Don't listen to the
NPR
news.
is huge, though. NPR is not like, Tom, Dick, and Harry down the road. Like, that's a big website.
You got to understand, they're not your CNN or ABC. What the NPR is a source of all, what are they called? Journalists. So all journalists submit all their work there. Then the news agencies pick and choose from like the NPR and the other ones. They go, we don't want that. That's trash. We can't tell the people that. And they throw it aside and they pick out what they want. And then they also manipulate it. Then they edit it like they did to Trump. They edit out the full sentence he said. And then they say, oh, he's a racist. But then when you go back with it unedited, you see that that's not.
Yeah,
it was the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, everything is the opposite.
What they're told. Let me put it this way: if you believe what I'm saying, what Maya's saying, and you believe it, you're an idiot. If you believe what anybody tells you, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You have to go check them. Check everything. Check everyone. Don't believe me because I don't want you to be a fool.
Just like just like you and I both said, Jonathan, we have to question everything.
Right.
We have to literally question everything.
Question
Um,
everything, including masks. Question masks.
See,
Let's
oh,
start.
yeah.
Let's
see how
start
see
there.
how Joey has clear eyes, because that's why I said, he was like, like child prodigy genius in school. And there's so many of you guys out there, but you haven't had the time, you haven't had the energy, you haven't had the health, maybe even
Mhm.
to put your energy into this. So that's what me and Maya do.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
The more you know, the better off you're going to be. I mean, you could stick your head under the rug and pretend like none of this is true, but then you can't protect yourself against stuff
Right.
like fluoride,
Mhm.
wearing these masks that are not good for you, that kind of stuff.
Try to get laundry detergent that's clean and clear, like and has no chemicals in it, because they're putting now, and don't buy clothing from Alibaba from China, because they're putting toxic chemicals in the clothing so that whenever you wear it, it's going into the pores of your skin straight to your
And it
blood.
makes you very sick. Chinese clothing can
Right.
make you very sick. Yeah, I watched a show about that. Dawn says she goes by how she feels with research and such. So, but Dawn is one of the rare few people that I know that has really, really good discernment. So, she trusts her spirit. And when her spirit, like, I don't know, I'll just give an example. Like you're walking down the road.
Call it instinct, not
Instinct, yeah.
clairvoyance or instinct.
Yeah.
It's all
You're
the
walking
same,
down the
but
road and
it's
you
right.
feel
It's your gut
yeah.
feeling. Let's use
Gut
words
feeling.
that all people can relate to, because they all do mean the
Yep.
same. Clairvoyance. I don't care what you want to call it.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
It's
most people
all
don't
instinct
trust
and
it.
gut feeling. You have to start listening to your inner, because that is the voice of God, actually.
Mhm.
Harry's here. Oh my God, Harry's here. Hi, Neo.
And so your
His name
instinct is
Neo.
the voice of God, which they also call the mind of God has all knowledge. Okay. And they call it the living library. There's different names for it, right? The
Yeah.
great arcane. And so, and that's what what your gut feelings are. It's information of truth coming from the mind of God. Okay. Or spirit is your teacher. And that's inside you. You are connected. You are a child. You're a divine child.
Yeah, you can tap into that at any time, but I do think that it's easier when your
You
vessel
don't
is
know
clean.
who you are. It's much more powerful. The more clean you are on the inside, the more connection you get to that God source. And then it starts to live in you and all around you. That's why Jesus said, here's the message. He gave only a couple things that he instructed his disciples, which would be a Christian, to do. He didn't say worship a cross. He didn't say worship me or call me God. No, he said, this is what you're to do if you're my disciples. Go out and tell the people of the kingdom. And then he tells you what the kingdom is, though. So let's touch upon that first before I go further, because it's important to get this. He says, if anybody tells you that salvation or kingdom or heaven is coming from some direction or from some space or time, he says, don't believe them. He says, and then he tells you what it is. He gives you the answer to what it is. He says, the kingdom of heaven is in you and all around you. That means you can be saved, have salvation. That's what heaven is, being saved, right? At any time. But you can't have it if you're filthy inside your temple, which he tells you is the true church of God. That God, when it's clean inside the temple, that God can sit in his throne inside of you. And now you're fully connected with God, and he paves your way perfectly. He makes sure you don't go the wrong direction to get in trouble by giving you the gut feeling. No, that don't feel good. Let me go this way. That way's safe. And I'll find pot of gold because God's going to give you money. You're going to stumble on things that you need or want right on your path. And it's that magical, because I've experienced it, and many have. And it
But the
only
pineal
happens when you
gland,
get
the pineal gland is the connection to God.
right.
And so fluoride blocks
The third
that.
eye. The third eye.
Fluoride
It
blocks that.
calcifies it.
And we just
Right.
found out this week that the third eye is in the Bible. Matthew, I think it's Matthew 22:6.
Yep.
Talks about
It
the
says,
third eye.
and then he says, let thine eye be single. He's talking about your pineal gland. And also in the story of Jacob, who wrestled with God, it says, right? It says that where he wrestled with God was basically in his head, because he says that he wrestled with God in a place called pineal. It even has the right word in the Bible to tell you it's the pineal gland. It's inside your head. That's why
I really didn't believe a lot of the Bible until recently. Like recently, I'm like, oh wow, the truth is in here if you just
it's all
dig
over
deep.
it. You just got to open your eyes and not listen to I tell people this, don't listen to the commentators. Don't listen to the disciples because they didn't get it. Even Jesus told you, he's like, how many times do I have to tell you this till you get it? They were his most elect. They were the only ones that were elected while he was here. So therefore they are his most elect. And he even said, even my most elect can be deceived. That's how bad the deception is he's trying to tell us.
Wow. That's crazy.
How critical you have to analyze everything. And so you can't listen to what I call the commentators in the Bible, which would be Peter, Paul, Luke. You have to listen to Jesus because he's the only one who had it understood right.
Right.
And that's when you start to
And then
have
you
your
said
eyes
we shouldn't worship him. He didn't ask us to worship him.
Never.
He asked us
You
to
can't find that
follow him.
teaching
He
from-
had the way. He
Follow
was
him.
the light in the way.
He said, believe in me. That doesn't mean believe that I am God. He's saying, believe the things I'm teaching you. If you don't believe what I'm saying, you can't be saved. And so that's how Christianity twists the word belief, how to perceive what he's saying into a direction that you'll never find the truth and be set free. But we're bringing that here to you for free. It's a lunch ticket.
It's a lunch ticket.
To freedom. And all you got to do, really, all you have to do if you want to cure any disease and you want the best life and you want to be most beautiful, most intelligent, and have the eyes of an angel glowing that attracts the world, all you have to do is fast and don't eat cooked food or processed food. The Bible says from the beginning of Genesis all the way to the book of Revelation, never eat burnt off food offerings. That's in modern language, cooked food. And then when you look into, this is important because you want scientific proof. I'm going to give it to you right now that you're not supposed to eat cooked food. Overloads your immune system, which is the white blood cells. Yep. And they hide this, but you can find it because I'm going to give you the keywords to type in to find the particular part of this scientific study. You know how they say follow the science? Well, here, I'm going to give you science to follow, real science.
Oh, Harry says the Essence Gospel of Peace said no cooked food.
Right. Right. The Gospel of Peace. That's what I told you to get that book.
Essene.
The Essene, right. The Essene Gospel of Peace. Now, Jesus was a Nazarene, but the Essenes were just like the Nazarenes and the Ebionites. You had three sects, not sects, sects. Oh, my damaged bones. But anyway, so they were all Gnostic masters. They were the Gnostic Christians before Christian was even a word. It was actually, they were called the Way.
The Way.
That's what they were called. Now, in their day, they were called the Way. And Jesus was born a Nazarite, which is a Nazarene, which is the same thing as an Essene. John the Baptist was, I think, Ebonite. And they all taught the same thing. Fast once a year for 30 days to kill the parasites you get from eating food. I don't care what diet you eat, raw or cooked.
They said fast for 30 days in the Bible?
30 days.
Okay.
No, in the Essene Gospel of Peace.
In the Essene, okay.
And in a secret book that had to come out as a fiction that has the Tibetan knowledge of the same, which was called The Fountain of Youth. Now, I don't know if you have that covered and available. There it is. That book has these secrets Jesus taught in the Essene Gospel.
Yeah, The Fountain of Youth. That's a good book.
Are in there. You have to fast and you have to not do chemistry with your food or body. They teach that exact same thing. And if you have those two keys alone, you will have the most incredible life and love. You will, and let's put it this way, Joey, you will love this. This will get you kicking. If this happens anytime anybody does this that I've healed this way, they complain about not having a good love life and that they need a partner. And I say, put that aside. You'll never get the right partner until you are clean inside. And then once you are clean inside by fasting for 30 days and eating only raw mono, no chemistry, I said, your perfect soulmate will pop up into your life within hours, a day, or a couple weeks. And every time.
You hear that, Harry? You got to start fasting.
And then they're forever in love with each other because you guys are soulmates.
Yep.
That means Neo's got to start fasting.
this world. Angels in God are known to be both male and female, and neither male and female. And so when we come here, we get divided. That's shown to us in the Eden story of the Garden of Eden, that Adam and Eve were actually a hermaphrodite. They were male and female, one together, but God took them out. That was the God of the devil, the one who had the angel Satan, who had rule over this world. He divided them into male and female, and they were one. And you have your soulmate somewhere here, but neither of you have a good chance of ever meeting each other unless you find your temple inside. And typically what I found in this over 30 years is that when you decide to clean your temple, your partner, because you're one and the same, they decide to do it at the same time. And then when you both did it, you both meet each other instantly. It happens like magic. And then you are in love.
Harry said he's going to starve himself.
You'll ever know. They're like your missing half. They have all the qualities you're missing, and you have all the great qualities they are missing. When you put those two people together, they can conquer the world. And they'll make the greatest love in bed like you don't know.
Wow.
Oh, wow, is right.
There's your answer.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sign me
You'll
up.
have it.
Yeah. We're going to be getting ready to cut this short in a moment.
Good at record too, I might add.
Yeah, we're going to get ready to cut this short in a few minutes. So
why can't I hear anybody?
I don't know. I hear
lost
something in the
audio.
background.
Maybe I got to change my other earbud. Maybe the one went dead.
Might have been. But
all right, are we going to do this again next week?
Yes, we are.
Are we going to have a topic? What is our topic going to be next week?
Something happened here.
Whatever you.
I can see you guys, but I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
I think you can hear me.
All I ever do is just come up with
somebody
something.
wave if you can hear me. All right. I can't hear you guys, just know that. I'll let you know when I'm back in. So why don't you guys take over? Joey, you got any questions, Joey, because you're an intelligent man?
So what I'm going to do...
I have something good in mind I can answer you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything left. I mean, I practically let you two just run it and, go from there on it. I just sat back and just observed. So it's worthwhile. So we will do this again. I will give you an idea of when later on tonight or tomorrow. Definitely we'll continue on. We'll just keep it as Conspiracy Facts Part 2 or whatever. And I thank you both as always for coming on. Tomorrow I have an actress by the name of Lauren Marie Taylor that's going to be coming on. And so it will be next week in reference to this. So hopefully we'll have...
I guess I'm out on this one, guys. I can't find anything to help me hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
I can hear him. Oh, I'm
going to try taking it out. I see you pointing at your ear. Let's see if it goes to my speaker.
Yeah. I mean, we can hear you in reference to it. So we're going to end it here.
I can't hear you. Nothing's working.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave and come back, okay? Did you hear that?
Joey, yeah, I did, but we're going to be going.
I'm going to leave right now and try to re-enter.
I
might power my phone down.
Somebody's
having issues. I'll be right back.
Okay. He can't hear you at
Love
all.
you guys. I'll miss you.
So, Joey, Dawn said this is juicy stuff.
I know.
So that means that you might want to keep the show heading in the direction of conspiracy theories. And I also have a suggestion too.
Sure.
Dawn has some interesting stuff to share, and so does Harry or Neo. He's the hoary.
Yeah.
On here. Hoary sheep. He's got some interesting. So you might want to invite him to the show too. He's got some really good stories on like entities and
they can come on next week, the next time.
Okay.
I can have up to 6 people at one time.
Okay, cool. Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be
So,
juicy.
yeah. So we can do that the next one.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, we
we're-
are.
we're-
Yeah,
we're-
he did get last time they did a show. I think it got deleted because YouTube didn't like the word. What word didn't they like?
it was medical. It was a medical one.
It was
Medical
zinc.
misinformation.
Zinc.
Yeah.
They deleted the video because somebody said zinc, and they don't like giving medical advice or something on YouTube. It's so
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but definitely, what we're gonna do is the next one. I'll give the link to Maya, and then Maya will pass it on to you guys. Oh, there we go. But he doesn't know we're about to end this.
Well, they just let him say his goodbyes. It'll make him feel good.
Let me get him. Let me get him on for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't want to miss the end. I saw
Oh,
your
I texted you to tell you that we were going to end it.
Yeah, well, let's end it.
Yeah, because believe it or not, I got a grocery delivery coming in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh God, we gotta let you go then.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue this next week, and we may have more people on.
Great.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to throw this in here.
Jonathan, he said that we could maybe have Dawn and Harry on next week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Build the
We
family.
can,
Yeah, and then we can, and then maybe Joey, as a favor, because we're hopefully going to bring a lot more business to your show.
yeah.
Maybe we could advertise our potential future jewelry business.
Yeah. Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
good
Yeah. All right. So we're going to do that the next time, Maya. I promise you that.
Yes.
Okay. Because I thank everybody for coming on, and all this wonderful information. I will send you the links to the video itself before it gets deleted, if it gets deleted. Otherwise, they will get to find out when the next time we be able to do it, and that way we can add Dawn and Harry, because I can have up to 6 people at one time,
Okay, perfect.
including myself.
All right.
All right.
It's
So-
going to be a shindig. Yes,
Yeah.
it's going to be fun.
So we're going to start calling this a town hall now. At this point, it's going to be a conspiracy theory town hall.
Town hall.
So it's going to be everything that's thrown out. I'm just going to listen to you guys, and we go from there.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to say something quick in reference to when Jonathan was mentioning about the reptilian thing. I was thinking about Area 51 in my head.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, Dawn, we got to go to that coffee shop. There's a coffee shop here. I guess it's called Area 51.
I'm talking about the one in New Mexico.
Yeah, I know. I'd love to go there too.
Yeah. All right. So thank you everyone for watching. We will continue this next time. This definitely is a series, like I said.
Right.
So thank you all. God bless you. Speak to you soon.
Be
All
the
right.
change you want to see, and we love you all.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
All right. Love you
Proud of you,
guys.
Joey.
Yes.
Bye,
Love you guys.
Neo. Bye, Dawn.
I don't.